is going on? Welcome back, and I'm sorry for the lack of upload this week. I have been sick so far, so didn't really want to show you guys or talk to you guys in my raspy voice as you watch Mercedes E63 AMG S go around Road America, Circuit of the Americas, whatever the hell it is. There's too many Americas in here. There's Road America, there's Circuit of the Americas. Anyways, guys, I do have a couple things to tell you. Number one, I recorded a luxury coupe version of this race of the Forza Hot Laps, and unfortunately, all four of the videos got corrupted files. So they're all corrupted, and you guys will not be able to see them because of that. So their times will be on the Forza Hot Laps by 89 Octane Google Doc, which I will put in the link down in the description in the next video. I'm waiting to establish a couple different categories in hopes that we can get some variety up in that top 10 category before I release it to you guys. So that will be in the next Forza Hot Laps video. Anyways, guys, let's talk more about this Mercedes AMG E63S. So this is the 4-door version. That's what is in Forza. There is a 2-door version coming out, as I'm sure a lot of people know. And I think the 2-door version looks better, but this, despite the fact that it is a 4-door version, looks incredibly good. It's a 2016 model, and it has a twin-turbocharged V8. And it does have all-wheel drive, which is interesting. I didn't actually know that until I slammed on the gas pedal on the start. I was like, wow, that got off the line incredibly well compared to some of the other cars that I've tested today, as you will see later. Things about this AMG E63, it does feel relatively large. It feels like a sports sedan. I mean, it feels like a sports sedan should. Relatively heavy, relatively powerful, relatively everything that you want in a car, but not quite all the way there. Obviously, I can't attest to how fun it is to drive because, well, I haven't driven it around Circuit of the Americas except for in Forza Motorsport 7. Anyways, guys, with that being said, we are almost done with our first lap of the day with the Mercedes, and up to our last corner. It will probably do pretty well. We'll see what the times are. Anyways, on to the final straight, and our time for the 2016 Mercedes-Benz E63 AMG S is a 238.172. So, not bad, 238.172. Anyways, on the topic of times, I will tell you some times after I introduce this, which is the Alfa Romeo Giulia. I can actually try and pronounce it. It's, I think, quadrifoglio, something in that range of sayings. But it does mean 4-leaf clover in a different language, probably Italian. Anyways, I don't know how to pronounce it very well, but it is a fantastic vehicle in the real world, supposedly, and in this game, because it does not feel like a sports sedan. It is incredibly fast. It is also, in fact, the only manual transmission car that I am racing for you guys today. You'll see the other two cars don't have manuals. Those are later, and obviously the Mercedes doesn't either. But anyways, it is an incredibly fast car, and it's actually more fun to drive in the game than it is to drive any of the other ones. Anyways, I do have some times to tell you guys. The top time right now was in the luxury coupe section, and it was the Ferrari California T, which did it in a 232.940. Directly behind it, surprisingly, was the 2010 BMW M6 with a 233.575, which is incredibly fast. Anyways, Alfa Romeo going down the straight here. Probably not where it's going to make up a lot of time. It does have the Ferrari-derived twin-turbocharged V6, yet still doesn't have as much power as any of the other cars in this video today. I believe it makes 505. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section. Anyways, this is where it should be making up some time, is in the short and fast corners. These short, tight corners where there's a lot of differentiating speeds, fast, slow. This is where the Alfa should make up time. It probably also did in the high-speed corners, too, at the beginning of the race, and I think that will make it one of the faster cars in this grouping today of sports sedans, excuse me. Anyways, now onto the big sweeping corner. We got 2 corners left with the Alfa Romeo, which I think looks okay. You know, there's nothing insane about it. It is really kind of bulbous in the back now that you see it. Anyways, coming on to our last corner, hopefully this Fiat Chrysler product, which is surprising to say considering Fiat Chrysler, doesn't really make that many sports cars. Fiat Chrysler product flying down the straight, doing the best it can. Let's see what time it will achieve. The Alfa Romeo does it in a 236.484. Incredibly fast, and I have to say, Fiat Chrysler has kind of been milking its luxury brands of Alfa Romeo and Maserati. A lot of people, say the Levante and the Ghibli are no good. The Maseratis, they're garbage cars. As of now, at least, hopefully they'll get a lot better because I do like the Maserati brand name, at least personally. Anyways, we are on to the Audi RS7. I'm just going to introduce it, and then I'm going to go back to the topic that nobody really cares about, and Alfa Romeo. Hopefully, I really hope that Alfa Romeo will not fall into the platform sharing situation with Maserati. I'm not sure. They made a crossover SUV. I'm not sure what it's called. I forget. I know what it looks like. It looks pretty much the same as a Giulia, just on stilts. And I just hope it doesn't share the platform with the Levante, because hopefully they've decided to make their own car, because the Maserati isn't that great, famously critiqued by Doug DeMuro at this point, repeatedly reamed. Anyways, now that I'm done talking about that, let's talk about this Audi. So this is actually a 2013 model. So it is not the most modern one. It makes 500 and some horsepower, 550 something, and the newer one makes upwards of the 600 mark. So it is going to lose time in comparison to its newer model on this big straight here. Still more powerful than the Alfa Romeo, though. And I am a really big fan of the Audi RS7. Personally, I think it's great because it's different. Most BMWs look the same. Most Mercedes look the same. You're not going to really have somebody know the difference between a BMW 540i and a BMW, 740 Li if they're not a car person. They're just not going to care, and they're probably not going to notice. But the Audi the whole 7 series, the Audi 7 series, A7, S7, RS7, up to this point, I know there's a new one coming out soon, a brand new refresh. It still looks a little bit different, but not as drastically different from any other sedan such as this one did, with the whole hatchback setup, and it's got the whole aero thing. It's got the, active wing on the back, which I think is incredibly cool for a sports sedan, because you don't really find it on it, and it adds a little bit of extra flair. Anyways, guys, coming up to the final corner with the Audi, doing incredibly well, actually, for what a large car it is. It feels large, too. So, interesting fact about the car there. It feels large even in video games. Anyways, the time, 2:37.514. That's going to smack it right in between the E63 AMG and the Alfa Romeo Giulia 4-leaf Clover. Anyways, moving on to our final car for the day, the Cadillac CTS-V. I will proclaim it the most menacing looking of all of the cars we've tested so far. And I think it's got a good cool factor. I mean, in blacked out. I'd love to see the windows just absolutely blacked out, tinted too. It is a incredibly cool car, and it is the most powerful car as well that we were testing today. It makes around 640 horsepower. I know it's not exactly 640 because GM makes both the Corvette Z06 and the Cadillac CTS-V, and they basically just took a little lift, took the engine out of the Corvette, and just slapped it in a Cadillac CTS and put some new junk on it, like some nice new Brembo brakes and stuff. Anyways, that's not junk, by the way. It's not actually junk, and they changed a bunch of exterior styling and stuff. So, really, they did a darn good job on it, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't make exactly 640 because you can't have your sports sedan making as much power as to what the time it came out was the ultimate Corvette. Now it's going to be the ZR1, obviously, with 755 horsepower. Anyways, fun fact about this Cadillac, it is the fastest car so far, the highest top speed we've reached on the track so far. It went 163. So even faster than the fastest car so far, the Cali T, which went around 160. It's really just a testimony to how powerful this car is. And it doesn't feel quite as small as the Alfa or quite as big as the Audi. It kind of feels sort of the same type of handling as the Mercedes-AMG E63S. Yet I think if somebody said you can have a CTS-V or you can have an E63S, I think I would opt for the CTS-V just because it's different, and I like different, as I said earlier with the Audi, and I think it looks better than the Mercedes. It's more powerful than the Mercedes, and it's rear-wheel drive, and that's always a blast with 600 and some horsepower. How can you not have a blast with 600 and some horsepower and rear-wheel drive? But it does not have a manual, unfortunately. Anyways, coming up to the last corner, and on this last straight, those big ponies will probably help the Cadillac as well. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. The time for the Cadillac will pop up, and I'll read it out for you guys. It is a, let's see real quick, 234.088, the fastest car today. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.